All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Be honest for a second. Do you really know who's cutting your hair? Or who's handling those intense chemicals on your skin? Whether you're a beauty pro trying to protect your salon's hard-earned reputation or just a client looking for a safe, dependable service, verifying a Missouri cosmetology license is literally your absolute first line of defense.
It is so easy to just stroll into a salon, sit in the chair, and assume everything is totally up to code, right? But making sure your practitioner holds a valid Missouri license is absolutely critical. It maintains industry standards, and most importantly, it protects your health. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why this matters so much and how you can check these credentials yourself in just a matter of seconds.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, a quick Missouri cosmetology licensing intro. Second, why verify a license. Third, a step-by-step verification guide. Fourth, troubleshooting common search issues. Fifth, additional resources and tips. And finally, our conclusion and professional disclaimer. Let's get to it.
Section 1, Missouri Cosmetology Licensing Intro, Understanding the Basics.
First off, we really need to understand what a license actually represents in Missouri. It's not just a fancy piece of paper to hang on the wall, it's a real state credential granted by the Missouri Board of Cosmetology and Barber Examiners. And there are actually different classes of licenses. For example, a Class CA license authorizes someone to do both hairdressing and manicuring. Class CH, that's strictly for hair. Class MO is for manicurists, and Class E is for estheticians. To even get that Class CA license, the board requires a seriously rigorous 1,500 hours of approved training. That's a lot of time. But it's there to ensure that practitioners know exactly how to safely handle complex chemicals, properly use specialized tools, and maintain strict sanitation standards to prevent infections.
Section 2, Why Verify a License, Protecting Health, Safety, and Businesses.
Now, what's really fascinating here is looking at the stark contrast between a licensed professional and an unlicensed risk. Choosing a licensed professional guarantees accountability. You know for a fact they've completed state-approved training and they adhere to strict sanitary standards. On the flip side, unlicensed work, it puts your physical health directly on the line. We are talking about the real possibility of severe infections, chemical burns, or even physical injuries. And for the salon owners out there, allowing an unlicensed individual to operate in your shop literally puts your entire business liability and your establishment license in jeopardy. It is just not worth the risk.
The sheer severity of these disciplinary risks brilliantly illustrates why verifying is so absolutely crucial. Let me tell you, the state board does not take noncompliance lightly. Violations like unsanitary conditions or performing services outside the scope of a specific license, for example, a cosmetologist using a straight razor, which is strictly a barber's tool in Missouri, or operating without an establishment license. All of this can lead to severe board discipline. We're talking everything from written warnings and hefty fines, all the way to complete license suspension or total revocation.
Section 3, Step-by-Step Verification Guide, Navigating the MoPro Portal. So, the really crucial point here is knowing how to empower yourself to check these credentials. The state recently transitioned to a modern cloud-based system called MoPro. And the best part? To verify a license, you don't even need to create an account. Just navigate to the MoPro licensee search page. First, you'll select whether you want to search active or non-active statuses. Next up, choose the specific profession from the drop-down menu, like Class CA. Then you just enter the professional's name or their exact license number. Finally, hit Submit. By following those simple steps, you instantly pull up real-time primary source verification on any practitioner or salon in the state. And it's updated nightly, so you know it's accurate.
Section 4, Troubleshooting Common Search Issues, Navigating Database Quirks.
Now, if you hit a wall while searching, don't worry. Let's look at how you can troubleshoot and completely outsmart the database's little quirks. Say you aren't sure how a stylist spells their name. No problem. Just use a partial name search. The MoPro system actually only requires a minimum of 2 characters to execute a wildcard search. That is incredibly helpful for those unique, tricky spellings. On the other hand, if you happen to have their exact license number, definitely use that. Entering an exact license number entirely bypasses all the other filters, like name or county, to find that single, unique record instantly. Oh, and a quick heads up. If you leave the search on active but the license is actually expired, absolutely nothing will show up. You gotta select non-active to see any suspended or expired credentials.
All right, for the beauty professionals watching this explainer, this part's for you. If you need to renew your license or just edit your info, you have to claim your digital record first. You'll go to MoPro, select Individual License, and choose Yes to manage your existing license. From there, you'll need to input your social security number to link your identity.
But hey, if you don't have one handy, you can alternatively use your date of birth combined with the exact email address you originally registered with the board. Super simple. Section 5. Additional resources and tips. Staying compliant.
Beyond just checking things out on the online portal, there are physical compliance rules every Missourian should really know about. According to the Missouri Code of State Regulations, online verification is kind of only half the battle. When you physically walk into a salon, you should always see an establishment's license, as well as the individual licenses of the practitioners, displayed right there in plain view to the public. If they're stuffed away in a drawer somewhere, yeah, that is actually a regulatory violation.
For the professionals out there, keeping that license active means hitting some pretty strict deadlines. Missouri cosmetology licenses expire on September 30th of every odd-numbered year. You absolutely must complete your renewal form and pay the $30 fee before that date if you want to avoid annoying late penalties. Now, interestingly enough, standard cosmetologists in Missouri aren't actually required to complete continuing education hours. But if you hold an instructor license, you've got to prove you've attended 8 hours of board-approved seminars. Lastly, and this is a big one, state law requires all licensees to carry a Missouri driver's license or state ID card on them at all times while working. You never know when a board inspector might drop in for a surprise visit.
Of course, if the MoPro system ever fails you, or if you have some complicated out-of-state transfer question, or worst-case scenario, you spot a serious health violation at a salon, you really need to know who to call. These are your direct lifelines. The Board of Cosmetology and Barber Examiners can be reached directly by phone, or you can shoot them an email at cosbar@pr.mo.gov. And if you're a professional who's somehow gotten locked out of your online account, don't panic. You'll just want to contact the dedicated MoPro tech support team directly to get that sorted out.
Section 6. Conclusion and professional disclaimer. Wrapping up.
At the end of the day, all these licensing checks and regulations, they aren't just bureaucratic red tape. The stated mission of the board is literally to protect the interests and safety of all citizens in Missouri. By checking a license yourself, you're actively participating in maintaining that safety net. You're ensuring trust, and you're protecting the public health of your own community. It's a small step that makes a huge difference.
Now, please remember, state regulations and database systems can and definitely do shift over time. The information we've covered today is completely up to date at the time of this recording based on the current Missouri Division of Professional Registration guidelines. But as a best practice, always consult their official website for the absolute most current rules and fee structures.
Now that you know exactly how fast and easy it is to navigate the MoPro system and verify a license, you officially have a new superpower to protect yourself and your business. So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. Whose credentials will you look up before your next salon visit? Thanks for learning with us today, and stay safe out there.